Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater. Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
then. Hello, folks. It's me, Octariax. I'm back at it again. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? Ooh. Daddy. Hey. How you doing? Hey. What were we doing? Oh. Really? Really? Unmodded. Banned. Blocked. Removed from stomach. You are no longer my plaything. Get out. Ow! I am getting bullied. Bullied hardcore. So, E. Oh, no. Wait, no. You guys have too many channel points on your hands. Anyways. So before we get into the stuff, let me say hi to everybody. Hello, Onyx. Congrats on first. Hello, Emmons. And hello, Justin. So, thank you for giving Emmons the shout out. I'm sure the sweet bean deserves it. So I was looking on Discord, as you do, and I found a post. Apparently, 4chan got hacked. The source code was leaked, admin emails were leaked, and a lot of registered users used their real names and .edu email addresses. And they also leaked their IPs. And it could also be a site-killing hack. Wait, it did? I only heard about it being dead, but I didn't know a hack was involved. Yeah, a hack happened, like, just now. Like, this is breaking news. There's been news articles about this posted only hours ago. So this is, like, hot news. And the last words posted on 4chan Forever may be chicken jockey, in reference to the Minecraft movie. And some of the 4chan mod emails are actually .gov. So these are government people working also on 4chan. And there's an update. They have the hackers, calling themselves Soychak Party, do have the identities of users, but only decided to release the identities of the mods and something. Image is too small. So yeah, 4chan got hacked. Admins have been exposed. And we could be looking at the death of 4chan altogether. As an anonymous site. Yeah. Fun shit all around. Now let's see. Okay. Just doing a quick bot check here. Okay. Everything looks good. We are set to go. So tonight, we are playing Disco Elysium. As you may remember, Disco Elysium was that storytelling RPG game set in a cyberpunk world. So let me go ahead and change the game capture over to this. Boop. That's cute. No, you. Alright, continue. Need to do something behind Lieutenant. I didn't even get a chance to read all that. A hermetically sealed door, locked by electronic means. There's no lock picking or door kicking this one. What's this? A notice. In case of a strike, press button behind guard. The Greater Reversal Industrial Harbor. Hello, sir.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
The young woman at the giant's side agrees. My body is unimportant. I'm with the police, and we need to get into the harbor.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust, as if he were smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, Al Ghul?
Yes, Al Ghul.
He means alcohol.
Understood.
I doubt it. My microcephalic race servant.
Kim, is it really so bad?
That's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk, and drowned.
Oh, damn. You're right. I'm an alcoholic. Now, I need to enter the harbor.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
The race stuff is unimportant here. Just need you to help me do my job, please.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
You're right about all this. I just need you to let me get into the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Simenine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
wouldn't that mean I have to become a Seminoles supremacist myself?
Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Ooh. What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Gesture towards the lawman down the street.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
Are you sure? I mean, that jaw is clearly an atavistic stigmata.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
You serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
Yes, but you still serve them. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
I'm no communist.
Of course you are, Revacholian man. The failure of communism to challenge the world order is the core of your race fate. All around you, the fruits of its defeat. Individualism, rock and roll music,
Hey, I like rock and
sexually
roll.
transmitted disease. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music?
I have gotten it from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
Okay, I'll ask. Who are the Seminoles?
The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you. We are the future. That is all you need to know.
So, you were born and raised on the islands. before you moved to Revachol?
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Simonese women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale.
So you did not come from the islands?
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
So you're not really Seminese. You're just from Revachol.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is
Is this the
central
ASMR
to the
strategy?
Simonese
We're gonna
strategy,
plan that out.
spreading through its
I'm gonna plan
trade
that out over
networks.
time.
Our culture
It's gonna be a
will
full.
dominate the world.
I'm not sure how long it's gonna be. I do think I want it to be a full stream thing. It will be next week. I'll tell you that much. It'll be next week. I'll let you know when it's gonna happen.
You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor.
Okay. So we can knock him out, which has a low chance, or we can subscribe to his advanced race theory, which we have a high chance of, because we're super smart. We're not streetwise, but we're smart.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Hell yes. We got it, boys. Measurehead, I am new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races are there.
Do you?
This is for the thing.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you. He lets out an audible sigh.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself.
Your ass will always be cringe, and my ass will always be dummy thick. Seriously though, like, look at him. He's got a whole shelf of an ass there. I'm kind of jealous.
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Let's start with the top of the top. Type A.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades in Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wherein
Oh, I forgot something. Maza, you are a mod, so you get to choose your own Pokemon. What avatar would you like? What Pokemon would you like to be? We got gens 1 through 6. Is it not too late to knock him out with a 70% chance? Look, the chance is way too low. We're not gonna take our chances here. But what Pokemon would you like to be? Onyx. Ooh, let me think about the Pokemon. Okay, I'll give you some time to think about it. But you could be any Pokemon from Gen 1 to 6 that you want to be. Even the legendaries. Wait. Who exactly are the Maun?
You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese.
You'll take a Haunter for now? Gotcha. Let's see. Haunt. And boop. Oh, wait. There we go. Wait, did that not? There we go. That'll do it. Mostick says 30 points for the from the jump catch game. Nice.
Mahun is a derogative term for first world people of Gotvoldian descent.
Ow.
They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant.
The wooden clogs, though?
In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also been seen on hats.
Okay, I'm gonna refer to the narrator guy as Suspicious Prime from now on, since it's the same voice actor.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
Okay, got it. Who are Taipei then, in your view?
Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist,
Got an outbreak.
but they have a
coming up.
glandular problem.
He draws a finger across his face.
Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
Okay. And who are the Seminese and Areopagites in this?
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagites are on the ascent.
Okay. And the Seminese are...
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands. I am Seminese, from the stock of Ulumbuir on Ile de Fantôme.
And the Areopagites?
The Areopagites are the master race of the Ile Maran deserts. The Seminese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ile Marat to Ansuland, thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Maun Reden Occidentals discovered this place.
Oh, Ginger Fox, welcome on in. Glad to have you here. What's the difference between the Seminese and the Areopagites?
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls.
Uh-huh. He falls silent, contemplating the beauty and the mystery.
The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more type A races in the world.
Okay. Hi, Octa, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be back in the swing of things. Okay, let's talk about Type B.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Koikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored people.
The Koikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Chest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect description.
You said Kozgos. I've been trained to identify them as white in official descriptions.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen.
Uh-huh.
Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Alrul and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb, and for eating potato. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates.
I do be multi-stream looking before bed. Sounds... Alright, sounds pretty good.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
Hi, Invader. Glad to have you here. You don't like ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire...
Ooh, Xandic, hello. Welcome on in. Glad to have you here.
uninterrupted. From Holy Semenine to the Boreal Plateau of Katla. Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Simenese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature, not the base inner spoilage called demos.
Okay. And, Vacoliers, you mentioned?
The Vacholians, halfway
Vach-
between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
I'm pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive Chespias.
The revolution sounds like it was actually very good and necessary.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zaraz-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia.
Hmm.
The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Koiko to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant. Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
The vile CF race called in a pederasty, please.
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Chimeric experiments?
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Seminese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Seminese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Maybe I have misunderstood something, but aren't humans too similar to produce genetically sterile offspring?
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic education.
Any more?
Then there is the Semino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Semino Koiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Yes.
The Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Seminese with the Koiko to produce a super worker of Seminese strength and grad servility.
Uh-huh.
This will never happen. The Seminese and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Seminese man could maintain an erection in the suffocating potato stench of a Koiko woman, or Koika. But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
Now that we've been through all the types, do I understand advanced race theory?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Will you let me into the harbor if I do?
We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way, without becoming a race theoretician.
Ooh, there may be another way in without becoming a race theoretician. Do we accept or do we decline? I have no idea. We would have to find another way to get in, but what other choice do we have? We might have exhausted all of our options. Let me do a save. Oh, dang it, I can't do a save here. On second thought, I don't have time to get any deeper into this stuff.
Lost, though. Buckled away at the last gate. This is why your haplogroup will never rise from the ashes. Now, I need to luxuriate in the private company of my babe. Leave me.
Let's discuss
I
something
cannot
else.
possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vacholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
Kim, what do you think about this?
I don't think anything about this. We are wasting our time having this conversation.
Your pedomorphic friend is right. You should leave here with your tail between your legs, contemplating race extinction. I am an immovable obstacle.
Okay.
Yes? What do you want to
Tell
know?
me about the case again. Can we go over the preliminary info
You
again?
mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again?
Yes.
3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wildfires. I was told we should approach the desk as
Vader, hello. Wait, does the briefing say who the victim
A
was?
security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wildpines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Why didn't we know anything about the caller?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Let me just make this perfectly clear. Our job here is to find the killer?
That's right.
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Well, why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Personally, I think labor disputes are very mysterious.
Then you're in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers union. Maybe more than that. The union clearly wants a piece, not just of the industrial harbor, but the Wild Pines Corporation itself.
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a workers' coup?
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the union rarely overplays its hand, as it appears to have done in this case.
Wait, so is this a strike? Or an attempted coup?
Strike, coup, revolution. It's brigandage, however you parse it.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
With this little foreknowledge, I am unsure which side to grind at the pig's feed. The decision must ferment in me. Also, nationalism.
When I said we have to navigate community matters, I did not mean we have any say in them. I meant we should be careful. If we are not, the shit will blow right in our faces.
He makes a quick gesture toward his vision, where the shit would blow.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
That's all.
Good.
Okay. So, we have to find out what to do now. We've already talked to that guy from the previous video, from the previous stream. So... Oh, we can go in here. Hello. Yellow roses, dozens, and tulips too. A melancholy pop song plays on the radio. Hello.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
She returns to her magazine.
What's that magazine she's reading?
What magazine are you reading?
You mean this?
She looks at the cover, posting a colorful photo of two girls kissing. Ooh.
This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
Forget all that. What is this fashion police feature?
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
I bet your hat would take the prize.
No. I don't like it. I hate it.
Oh.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Before we go on, what is this frite?
I don't know. Frit?
Frit? And why is it written with 3 T's?
I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to avoid trademark infringement.
Let's proceed. I have some questions for you.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Can you tell me anything about the dead body?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
Do you know the man who died?
Not really.
Not really? Does it mean you knew him a little?
No. I didn't know him at all.
How long has it been there?
I don't know, really long.
What do you think happened?
I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for your help. Right. 3 T's. How idiomatic. Whirling in rags. Clothes for winter. Please use main entrance.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Let's see. Put skill points into perception to open this white check. Perception. Okay. So let's see. Where's sight? Oh, there we go. So we need to put some more points into this if we want to retry that. Which means getting more experience. Wait a second.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots.
Oh.
Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
What kind of boots?
Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Lieutenant, workers' boot tracks. Actually, do it.
Maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud.
Oh, go over them one by one.
1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44.
Okay.
3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43.
Gotcha.
4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46.
Wait, which is it?
You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must have preserved them.
Count more.
5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same make of boot, but number 41.
Male or female?
Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped.
I'm pretty good at this, ain't I?
You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it, in a strange, beautiful way.
Count the rest.
7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms.
Oh, good insight, Sisyphus Prime.
8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
How many?
8.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20.
The same guys were going back and forth.
I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary?
Light step, number 41 shoe.
A woman? Or a kid?
Could be a kid. Could be a kid?
Okay. How do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
I don't.
Understood. Anything else?
A heavy one. 200 kilogram imprint.
200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
One of them was carrying him over.
Possibly, yes.
The lieutenant marked something down in his notebook.
But why?
You're thinking, why did they have to carry him?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
Maybe the victim refused to walk to his own lynching.
You have a point there. Anyway, it's something to consider. What else can you see?
An aberration. One sole is smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the odd sole.
Do you have any ideas, Lieutenant?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
So one of the people we're looking for is a drummer?
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
I'm not sure. We don't want to attract too much
You're
attention.
right. Let's keep a low profile.
How old do you think these tracks
A
are?
week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you know?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy.
I think we have a firm understanding of what happened here.
The lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's thinking to himself.
Either way. What else?
We've been through all of it. Okay.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
God, why is that? Why is it spelled
Active
so
decay.
bad?
It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags."
Why am I looking at you, trash container? It's just a trash container.
Just a trash container. There is no such thing. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock.
How do we get the lock open?
We could try using a pry bar. The one you took from my motor carriage,
Or, Lieutenant?
Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea.
Right. Let's go. Excuse me.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
I wonder what this feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
Doesn't it seem callous to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor?
Callous? What are you, Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
Yum yum, tell me more.
He killed himself.
I'm no Krasmazov.
No one was implying you were, officer. Where were we?
We need those
What
keys.
do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
I've seen something here at the Whirling Gate Guard. Something I think I need to talk about.
Thing.
I saw a sign that said the mess hall is reserved for the Union.
Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. just the nastiest and loudest faction.
He tosses his head in disdain.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
Righty-ho.
We don't.
How do we find
We
them?
have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later.
Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can... Let's see. Anti-aliasing. Never mind. Belly. Big belly.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
There's something else I want to talk about.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Another thing. Great. Yes?
Okay, never mind. That's all. Good day.
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunate. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid, with a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid.
Heck yeah.
Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
What's this?
Just a feeling. A warning from some part of you.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Uh-huh.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Look under the boxes of
You
cartons.
see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Used to what? Dumpster diving?
No, searching for evidence in the trash. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Baptiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Grab them.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
Oh, God.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Oh?
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
A thrown-out towel, a mug. That's all.
We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Yeah. We need to ask the kids who put them there. You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, baby?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Yeah, we need to ask kids who put them here.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
The
Okay.
lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search the food
It's
waste.
just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly, unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
No. It can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
It must have been cramping my style. It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore, so I threw it away. I don't know, I'm boring.
Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime, or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives.
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
The mug. I'm getting that mug
You
too.
pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron,
An antique?
only in its social sensibility.
You've acquired an interactable item.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Okay. Let's check out the damaged ledger.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of
Hey,
yellow papers hanging from
Whistle!
plastic board,
Bottle, what?
barely
Oh,
held together
what?
by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
oh my. Oh my. Oh. Oh. I like that. That's a very nice these are some very nice gifts. Very nice. Let's see. Okay. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from clipboard, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Sayonara.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the
The
aluminum.
surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
What kind of
It
information?
depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
You mentioned the headlights of your Kanema?
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
That's all. Thank
Okay.
you.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten scrap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Is 2 cases a week a good load, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Hey.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was a mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others
More?
appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
My cases appear to employ some kind of naming
You
convention.
mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named the case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Ouch. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But...
Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
With this beauty. Commit to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already
A
finished.
satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
Hey! Awesome!
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Okay. Can I read the case files now? Please?
Yes,
Yes!
you can piece them together using the
Yeah!
alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Wait, HDB 41? Weren't those officer precincts?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Horace Debbie Behringer?
That is improbable.
How long does it take to read the case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
I can revisit this.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still. Arson, petty theft. You don't exactly close them. It takes about. Not much has changed in the meanwhile.
Browse the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
Field
A
autopsy.
dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Enough of these.
All that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copy of paper.
Look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside? Light, made of paper or cardboard? Or dried flowers, perhaps? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
Peek
The
inside.
plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside? Light, permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli.
How would I open it?
But with your hands, U4 sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawing that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just...
Ooh. Invader, hello. You like this thick neck beat? I know I like yours. Slide the drawer open.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Oh God. Yeah, we're not gonna read that one. We're not gonna do that one. Pick up the ticket stubs.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too.
Pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Smell it first.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says Tutti Frutti.
Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a
A
smile.
boot to the head.
You think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake
Camera
up.
closes in.
Maybe
Tutti
it will make
Frutti.
you happy.
Indeed. Indeed, Sisyphus Prime. Indeed. Also, hi, Kairu. Oh, and since you're here, Kairu. Where are you? There you are. Because you're a mod, you get to choose your Pokemon. We have Generation 1 through 6, including the legendaries. Pick whichever Pokemon you want. Your personal choice. Oh, thanks. I think I'll pick your Saring. Alright. And there we go. There's a beautiful bear. And for those who don't have an avatar, for those who don't have a Pokemon, that's alright. You can stay here and watch. So you can grind away and get one through the extension. Or you can partake in the jump catch games and earn a nifty little 30 points each time.
Your hand shakes holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on.
Hold on.
To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything alright?
Fall sideways. Whoa. Wonder what that was all about. Hello? Is something gonna happen? Uh-oh. No, I don't think it's crashed. Not yet, at least. Hang on. Disco Elysium. Black screen. Hang on. I have an idea. We're gonna have to restart and do that all over again. As painful as that's gonna be, maybe. I don't know, to be honest. I did not save. We just lost a ton of progress. Come on, get down there. Shit. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to backtrack.
There are several footprints in the mud. Heavy work. Isn't this something an industrial worker?
Noted.
Maybe more than 12. No. 1. Standard 2. Standard 3. Hobnailed work 4. Standard work boot. You don't. 5. Another 6. An impossible to tell. You're not bad. 7. The glowing 8. And yet another.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. A woman? Or a kid? Okay.
He knows it's hard.
Understood. 200.
He might be right.
Possibly.
But why?
Yes, they could have used the even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. Interesting. Someone operating a workbench with a drummer only uses their right foot for the kick drum. You're right, it's stupid. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear the right shoe. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. A week, maybe?
It is not.
I pulled last...
Correct again. Subs...
What do I think? Then, after hoist...
Indeed. Yes. The lieutenant...
Either way.
Okay. We're gonna have to make a save here. Then we're gonna have to go back over.
This trash... Just your fingers start to itch.
We could try using a pry bar. Or we could...
He might also have information.
Okay. Go back inside. Get the stuff.
Can I help you? Mine?
Thank you for clearing.
Why?
I thought...
Well,
It seems a little callous. Does prod at him and find out.
callous?
Krasmazov, Nomdi, he killed himself.
No one was implying you were.
What do
It concerns the case.
Just bring them back.
Okay. Make another save, just in case. I have no idea how many saves we're gonna need. But if it's gonna crash like if it's gonna glitch out like that, we should probably be ready.
This trash with a well, don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Just the feeling. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time.
You see, you've done this before. No, a box falls among the... as the...
The victim dropped them in. Guitar marked blue jeans. The belt is...
Something slime, a drab.
This is a military...
The rest of...
Alright. We should go to Gart again and ask if he...
The fuck's you?
See? Not really.
The lieutenant. It's just... What's this? A blue piece? Something like...
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. If you don't mind me asking. How did this get in the... Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork.
Easier said than done. How could this pathetic cabbage of copy paste...
It would also...
Some items, such as the ledge
You pick out only...
you've acquired,
The container sounds a muffled gong.
Okay,
That's one thing off the list.
make another save.
It's the ledger you found in the track. There's a piece, it's a metaphor. It's just still wet. The toilet, an aluminium block. The surface looks like it is similar.
What? It depends.
Maybe yours will.
Any cap. Yes.
This means you.
Okay.
While a bunch of. They're not exactly. Once in a work, it's the mid. What do you mean? The notebook is.
Huh? 2. It's okay.
Like a fan of girls. Yes. A title. One might. Yes. Others. It's going to take an effort.
You mean the alphanumeric? Oh, you mean the It's a holdover from the early days of the RC. Again, I pray his rail spike through the head.
There is. Once all the time. Sadly, the ledger only. The lieutenant. He is not.
No, did I give
The task. Inspect. Interview. It's not exactly poetry. A satisfy. You're a swash. Things to be done.
No, actually. Great. I'm going to start calling it the.
You don't exactly close them. So much as this. Yes. It takes about half an hour to piece one together. This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 12:02.
Okay. Don't read the note in the clipboard.
Appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure: rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and the graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Keep the mural.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
The middle class are not to be blamed. It is human nature.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done? Not much has changed in the meanwhile.
Okay.
A bunch of then rip 3. You don't have to be a monetary, but these all in a print, a dozen pages of, yes. The rest of the stinking cellulose it's made of dark something and some permeable. The plastic shimmers with your hands. You four-sized is not what
Damn it.
And the ledger quivers in your hand. As
it's
it
probably
shakes,
for the best.
Pages rustle. This pathetic mess. The acidic stench, like the witch. The acidic, your nose does not.
Yes?
Can I help you?
Here's your trash container, Pete.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
I found the victim's
How
clothes.
strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Could someone on your staff have put them there? Who else has keys to the trash
The
container?
trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash.
Enjoying the ride? Hello, Papa G, welcome on in. We did have an incident where we had a black screen after we passed out from reading that note. Had to quit the game and restart it, sadly.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Could one of your staff put them down?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state.
I think fugue states are more
Fugue.
your forte, officer. Yes?
Okay. Now we have to figure out what to do from here. Oh, we can... That's right, the headlights.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out...
Kim, how do I
toolbox,
turn on
and
the headlights?
Alright. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl, like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time.
Press the button labeled headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Gotcha.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's another pride in the Lieutenant's
Around
voice.
the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait, look
A
around you.
rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we on this?
Let me see. Right here.
I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
Look at the
There
perforations.
are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots.
What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them
Count
individually.
216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
What about the last
The
row?
last row has 3 perforations.
3? That's it?
That's it.
Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Continue.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years? I've done this?
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Got drunk like a megastar?
Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see... Wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
They're saying I used to be a super cop?
Call it what you want. You are a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
So I'm a killer.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed someone, Kim?
Yes.
How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby?
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
Good one. Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page. To the right of the task description.
Oh, I can level up now. Level up. I do want to try that one thing again. And you know what? We're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna save Scum.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite, because there's a
Yes!
secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
Both panels aside.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
Ooh.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Yes. Let's. An empty tube of Magnesolemn magnesium equipment supplement. Magnesium supplement you rub on your chest to live a happy magnesium-rich life. A silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Someone has taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere?
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Oh. Cured pig's head. It looks mummified. The poster says, "Get out of the way or get fucked up." Those barrels are half full of rainwater. The doorway is going to collapse soon. Restoration pillars keep the ruins together. Hmm. Three T's. How idiomatic. Oh, a box. Nose fed. +1 health. Nice. Money. What's this? Where is this taking me?
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
You son of a gun! It's a cop's cloak.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal, even for them. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here.
What exactly are we doing up here?
What are we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industrial harbor. They are bound to have information for us. I thought that was our intention. Or it could be that we are just exploring.
Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it?
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it, well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 major stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Yeah, not right now. We should probably find something to help us cross. We'll have to find a way to get over there. Onto the other side. Interesting. Books. Hello.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of a store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this.
Nah, it feels inappropriate to lecture
Don't
the
be
girl.
a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
Don't tell me what to do.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
Oh, is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What's your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance.
Uh-oh.
She owns the store. She's inside.
One sec. Sorry about that. Fire alarm went off in the kitchen, and there's a bit of a toaster mishap. Nothing serious. Just gonna open up the window. Perfect. Okay.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
I should have a word with the store owner, maybe?
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Shouldn't you be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
I get that. School is stupid. You're lucky not to be there. Isn't going to school more important than this?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
Octerex is too hot for the detectives to handle. They can't handle the hotness of my thick, meaty neck. I'll never get over this meaty neck, I swear to God.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
How's the business going?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Cursed? What way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Bankrupt.
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
I don't think curses are
They
real.
shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses.
It's just regular trading and selling of things, child. It doesn't work out for most people.
Of course, sir.
What is this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch
My
the
shirt
criminals.
is all soaking wet now. Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. Okay. Why would anyone want to read about crime?
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things. And it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
Right. I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Okay, then maybe I'm not a policeman? Or I should stop being
Didn't
one?
mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
He points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway. It's your...
Head? Yes.
No, your mind. Not head, child. Heads.
Flexibility. There are millions of different people out there, and you have to get into their heads. Sometimes, you gotta be the killer to catch the killer.
Isn't that very dangerous?
Policemen live and breathe danger, little girl. Mullen obviously lacks the chameleonic skill.
Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
It's super dangerous. The silver linings. Thank you, welcome on in. Glad to have you here. The elucidus arrives. Thank you for the lurk. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the carnage. Okay, I'm going to deduce something now.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
Yes.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Want more? I bet I can figure out why you bite your nails. Got a few reasons in mind. Hey there, Emmons was working on art while listening to Little Gator. All good fun.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Either way, another ace deduction. Another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town.
Okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
Okay, you think so? Fine. Do better. To do something about me.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Wait, how do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
And I am also sad and my head hurts.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
That's a cute emote.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar. Somehow.
By the way, chat, speaking of emotes, I finally got an update on my new emotes from my artist, and she sent me a few work in progresses of them. It's the lick emote, the donut emote, and the preg champ emote. I'll just say that canonically speaking, Papa G had a hand in making that one possible. If you get what I mean.
There's something you're missing.
Who are these, famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading those books doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day.
Why would they do that, sir?
Why indeed? I'm just an old tired cop. What use am I?
You're not that old. Maybe you'll do something really important, something that wows the world.
You think so?
Yes, there's hope. A lot of famous people got famous late, or even after they've died.
Sounds like a nice story to tell yourself at night. Maybe fame isn't that important after all.
Maybe not. No one needs a book written about
Don't
them
nut
anyway.
on me.
It's always better to read books.
Okay, see you around, Annette. Ow. Okay, good. We got an autosave.
Seven?
The ad reads, broken window, Tibbs has windows.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized
Don't
bubble
jail
gum,
me.
rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
A simple but clever solution to ruining a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete.
Hey,
reeds.
Gator.
On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Periconesus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Periconesian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent sets up on the ice.
Hello, Camoran surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. boat. The belly of the boat shines like it was recently painted. Maybe it was recently painted. Oh, what's this?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Never mind. I'm probably not gonna be able to solve it. Money! And... healing item. Magnesium. We've spoken to her already. This won't be of use until the snow melts. Alright, we're on the other side of the building. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Orange bum hat. +1 reaction speed, -1 rhetoric. No, it's bad. But you look at it suspiciously. Another door.
There must be another way into the building.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ, that was a
quiet smoke.
that was a hell of a jump scare.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back. Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pip's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
No. Why would you even say that?
Why are you sneaking up on me like that? It's not a good idea to scare me, pig. Not a good idea at all. Trying to sneak up on me again. Trying to sneak up.
Okay. No good there. Let's not get jump scared again. Okay. Nothing here. Wait. That smoke up there could be a witness. Talk to him.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
No trouble from me. They just want to know what's going on here.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to you.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
You're not actually called Martin Martinez, are you?
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
Scans courtyard. It's silent like the bottom of a well. Looks like you've got a good view of the whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
Did you?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Neck beat is heckin' chunky and chunky booty. You know it.
Last week? I don't know. Look.
A downy blanket of white to cover up the miserable poverty of the scene.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing No, with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, snow continues to pile on the neighboring windowsills.
I'd even go so far as to say...
We will remove the body.
Oh.
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
I'm pretty sure I did.
No, not you.
And when?
Last week?
A downy...
You didn't and...
It was my...
He does...
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going. Good luck with the investigation.
Well, there he goes.
He's gone.
We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
You're right. He probably didn't have anything important to say anyway.
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. There has to be a way of getting inside the building. Once we found a way in, we can ask around for his apartment.
Gotcha. Nothing. Inside the frame of a motorcycle repair and the tools used to disassemble it. There's a girl up there.
Up here, Piggo. The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
Okay.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
That was not what the text said at all.
Hatred? Disgust? It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershaw. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cads. And my name's not Mona, so...
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime and social chaos. with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you
Watch
later,
your
Cindy.
back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Okay, no need to be rude. Ow. And no need to throw things at me. You hear? Looks like there was more construction here. Once. Decades ago. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33A. Your room in the whirling isn't much bigger than this sleep. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Hello, madam.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand
Joyce
in
L.
greeting.
Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Joyce L? What does the L stand for?
Baton, my maiden name.
Oh. What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
Ouch.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching.
I'd rather have
Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
Papa G sink his fangs into the what? No. You guys didn't hear anything.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group.
You're on a boat!
Why, yes I am.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas Alamer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
Wait, I thought Le Caillou was one big island.
Okay, if you want to get technical. The point is, we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike.
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around
I
here.
haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Ravachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Why?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
It'll come off as like I'm envious, and I'm not. But why am I even thinking about this? I have police work to do.
Have it your way.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Good.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Ooh.
Wait. She just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes. Jean-Luc Measurehead.
So the strike is connected to the lynching?
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
How are the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
Huh.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are the demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Most of them probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Oof.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The workers can't be kings. The king is king.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again.
I see.
And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
No. I mean, scabs.
If these workers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick it with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
A socialist mob.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the Union's files.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need to hear. Let's change the topic.
How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Remember when I told you I had recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? I lost badges related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life in the world.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
Me neither.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do.
But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
That's
of
all
course,
for now.
Detective.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota.
The what? Sounds like my stomach is growling.
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
Vows?
The vows of blood and flesh.
What is my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
What is fascism, though?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems?
Financiers?
Yes, them. But also, women.
Women?
Women. Men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen.
Oh god. I don't like where this is going.
That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place.
I don't like where this is going. Am I having some kind of stomach seizure?
Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth.
Why am I getting this?
Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times.
Fascism sounds so bad, though. What if we called it something else, like, traditionalism?
Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that.
Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism.
You're going to keep your vooz, right? Keep your vooz, Brota.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to be played by an upset stomach. I am not a racist. I am not a sexist. I love everyone.
There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver. It is one of betrayal and disappointment. Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like a horse. A workhorse. For hard work.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Yeah, I ride. A little.
A little? You make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules. but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
I guess I've made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
The system is I don't know. Why am I so
Because
poor?
of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered
G-Man!
sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Whew, did I get sunburned today? Goodness gravy. I think I got sunburned today. Oh dear.
Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Revachol?
I thought there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer state's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money.
Are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help with that?
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Indirect modes of taxation. Temporary research bonus. -2 empathy. Uh-oh. I hope that won't have any repercussions for me. Yeah, I got a new hat. Oh, what's this? Magnesium.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
Hold on. Who am I speaking to?
Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out of here.
From within comes the faint sound of a broom sweeping across the concrete floor.
This is the police. Open the door.
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
I need to talk to a young man in this building.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door. With the smoker. You already were there. Didn't work.
Hey, are you there? I've checked the backyard, but couldn't get in that way.
Good. We had enough problems with bums and drunks and thieves loitering in the hallway. You have no business here.
Ooh. Okay, we're gonna have to make a save. I feel like we're gonna have to save scum this little.
Away into the apartment building, the smoking men. You're well versed in the
Wow.
kind of threatening legalese that implies criminal liability, but in fact has no meaning whatsoever.
Authority. Ma'am, your non-compliance is hindering a police matter. I may be forced to refer you for potential prosecution. Wait, am I?
Obviously, look at that vague yet threatening stuff spewing forth from your mouth.
I know my rights, and don't you marm me, boy.
But the sweeping on the other side has stopped.
Miss, would it help if we offer to show you our badges?
Damn it, not the badges again.
It's like a carrot to the stick, sort of.
Hold your horses. I don't care about your stinking badge. Just come in.
Oh, we got new items. Chain cutters. And a flashlight.
It's just a... Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. Foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associate. Oh, heck yeah, this flashlight's really useful. The sea below looks cold and winter gray. Someone has torn down the wall. It's a bathroom. An old grocery list on the table.
What happened here?
You can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here.
Except the stuff in the fridge.
Indeed.
Money! The graffito says, a firing squad for the rich. Apartment number 8. Their mailbox is overflowing. Excuse me, madam.
Give me a moment.
She seems to be having
The
difficulty
cold
breathing.
never does any good for my bronchitis.
Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me. Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
I'm looking for a... who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
I'm looking for a young male in his mid-20s. Dark hair, skinny build, smoker on the balcony.
Yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble. I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
talk.
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
I have a few questions about those apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
Do you know who lived in the foreclosed apartment?
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
Why is there a hole in the wall in the abandoned apartment?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
Is one of the residents on a vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
What can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
That's all. Thanks.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Thanks, I'm off. Okay. What's this? The door number 9 is locked.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. You hear someone walking around
I can hear.
inside.
I can actually see inside.
The number on the panel says 10. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. Sounded like a woman. A woman's shoes. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Okay, that was a completely wrong thing. This is the police. Open up.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Gotcha. Someone has drawn a 5-pointed star on the wall.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it.
Time for a little snip.
You seem committed to it, so go on.
Let's do it!
The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
After you, detective.
Money! This is a small place. A flamboyant poster of a white star. Real lithography. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. A bullet. Ceramirizian lounge jack. Ceramirizian lounge jacket? Ah! No! Get it back on!
That isn't just a 5-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers. The iconography of communism, in other words.
Inspect the symbol
The
closer.
star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure.
Why is the star upside down?
To symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it.
What's the deal with the antlers?
The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time, above it.
Why white?
Because white is the color of peace.
What does it evoke in me?
Smug superiority, aesthetic musings. The triumph of capital is undeniable. But maybe the guns were sort of cool. Revolutionaries had loads of guns.
Right. Okay. This box is filled with cleaning chemicals and with smell of laundry detergent. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. An old shoe rack, boots, sneakers, and old slippers. These shoes come in 3 different sizes. Moss crawls on those bathroom tiles. Actual moss. These shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Apartment 42, apartment number 12. A loud grumbling snore comes from within. Let sleeping dogs lie. Flip up glasses, the auditor. Heck yeah, I'm stylish. First, let's take the exit. Okay. So we have an easy way to get there now. The break box is full of cigarette butts and electric wires. The curtains shift, just a little. Someone is watching from within. Just a door. Nothing for you here right now. Okay. Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and a cactus.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
Sound good. Tomorrow, 9 p.m.
9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Gotcha.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today.
Uh-huh. Apartment number 29. Complete silence. Whoever lives here isn't home. Apartment 30. Voices from within, singing along to some buoyant dance track. Looks like that's where it ends. So we'll have to come back later. Figures. Can't get in here right now. We'll have to come back later. Oh, what's this? The book is titled Man from Helmdall and the Wildfire. Right. Let's see if we can make any more progress on that jacket. Oh, what's this? Money! So it wasn't fruitless after all. Oh, heck yeah. We're making bank. Let's see, any more progress on this? I doubt it.
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM.
No. Still too risky. Oh, what's this? Okay, nothing else. Already interacted with. We have entered detective mode. What's this?
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
East Delta Pinball, entrance from building B.
Silence. No one answers your call. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one answers. Silence. No, you hear static from the intercom
Slipstream
speaker.
CSA.
It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't. You can almost hear them breathe.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
Have you come
to place an order?
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly. Wait, but what happened to Slipstream SCA? There's no Tricentennial Electrics on the list.
Hold on, Tricentennial Electrics? I thought I was calling Slipstream SCA.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
Sorry?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
Oh no, not again.
She must be mistaking you for someone else. Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it.
Do we know each other?
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Wait. Michelle. Hold on. Tell me what's going on. What did I do?
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been
spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
Forget about what?
She sounds like she's about to cry.
Hello?
She doesn't answer.
You said it was nice. What's so nice about forgetting?
Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
What just happened?
Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
Alright, this is goodbye then.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read.
Babron's taxi.
Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore.
Emma's Fashion Atelier.
You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call.
24-hour window.
You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens.
Boxing for young athletes in
all
gym?
you hear is static, but no one answers
Andrew
the call.
Orlando Hair SCA?
You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair.
Main hall building
An
A.
off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
This is the police. Please open the door.
Sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Empty card?
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Nothing. Shucks. Now what do we do?
This Post Lavatorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Good mail delivery box.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
I feel your mail collection
The mail
box.
collection box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
Okay.
The worn and beaten wooden plank.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when...
Well, I think this is a good time to save the game and call it here. We did make some progress. I'll give it that. Unfortunately, I do have work early in the morning, and I still have to take a shower, especially after mowing the lawn today. I am a musky gator right now. I reek a boy smell. So with that being said, thank you all for coming on over. There's my link tree. Discord, Telegram, Blue Sky, Mastodon, etc. There's our raid message. We're solving crimes like a true investigator. And I need to just delete that redeem. We don't have the belly thing for this, unfortunately. So with that being said, let us lay down out to our good boy. To our good boy, Soybean. Thank you all for coming on over. I had some fun playing Disco Elysium. No belly. Look, we'll plan something out. We'll plan something out. Trust me. And I will see you guys this Thursday for Wild Assault. Thank you, and have a good night.